Welcome everyone. Good evening. Thank you for coming here. We are the group 6 of the section C, presenting PPT, as you know, on the topic definitely meal. Now going about by the tagline, definitely meal. Going by the facts, of course, given the history, right? So definitely meal is a tagline as we closely associate it with the Bajaj Pulsar, right? So Ogilvy and Mathur were given the task of coming up with a tagline for the Bajaj company to launch the bike. So evidently you might notice that the Bajaj Pulsar is the first bike which was tagged by gender, the he, right? So going by this association, let's look at what other things are definitely male apart from this bike. Yes, please. So as you can see, few of the things which are definitely male in our society is, first of all, 2.5 kilo ka haath, right? 2.5 kilo ka haath cannot be mistakenly to be a feminine thing. The next is Mard ko dard nahi hota, which is quite a famous tagline in the Bollywood, coming from Bollywood, right? So this is definitely male again. So this is kind of a stereotype, I understand, but again, definitely male. Another ad campaign which went into the market is by the Imperial Blue, which says men will be men. And it tells us that, there are certain characteristics and the way men perceive about things. So that's how it goes by the tagline. Men will be men. Now coming to the society, please. Next, please. Yeah. Coming to the society, what society thinks. One of the few quotes, as I would take from the internet, is men got brute strength and size, while women got steel-trapped minds. Now, how many of us believe that is true? I do not think so. Not many of us, right? Because we think that women are equally contributing to the society as much as men do. Now, going by that, we have few examples and celebrities who have made their mark in the history and in the growth of our country in all the fields, per se. For example, we have got the Chanda Kochhar, and then moving on to, we have got the Arundhati Bhattacharya. And in this field of science and astronomy, she's an astronaut, right, as we all know, say Kalpana Chawla. So these are the few names which stand out in the inner society, which had made the mark, right? Thank you.
In spite of telling bringing up all these dignitaries, but still such courts do exist. Why is that? What is the problem? It is because of the difference in the ability to interpret. Let me illustrate my point with an example. See, this is a statistic which says that India's corporate sector sees 4% women at senior positions. Similarly, defense sector has 5% women, and 60 astronauts are women out of 537 total. Like, this is the statistic which can be interpreted in two ways. The first one will be where typically the male chauvinists will say, see, only 5% of women are able to make into these important sectors, even though they amount to almost 50% in population. So this clearly reinforces they are unable to perform as much as men. So, and the other representation can be the other way around, where people can see the growth. This is the alternative view, where within the 20 years, in these so-called male-dominated sectors, the rise of female representation is in a 3-digit number. So this is all about the interpretation. However much you may show so many dignitaries, Chanda Kochhar, Arundhati Bhattacharya, but still there are some sections of people who will come up with some seemingly logical solutions for putting those quotes. So finally, I would like to sum up with a quote. This is a change in the professional sector also. This is what I'm talking about. Being male is a matter of birth. Being a man is a matter of age. But being a gentleman is a matter of choice. It all depends on how you interpret.
So, going through the current statistics that my friend shared, and we are in a dilemma that this society is definitely male or definitely female. To understand this dilemma, some scientists conducted research. So this research was basically a sample set of 10 questions conducted over a population of, let's say, 100 individuals. So it's basically a game which you can also think right now or play right now. So the question sets is like, do you prefer catching things or gathering things? So there are three options available over here. As you can see, like catching, it holds 30 points, gathering holds 10 points, and both 20 points. Next question. So, are you afraid of fire? Yes, hide the matches. That is, if you are afraid of fire. Hell no, burn baby burn. So this is if you are, afraid of it. No, if you're not afraid of it. And second, if you are just, it's pretty, but you won't go near it. So these are two set of questions. Next, please. Again, another question, if your room is a mess, so what do you do? So if you hate it being dirty, clean it right away. You don't care much because you will clean it sometime, or you just clean it because you have nothing else to do. So, how often you shop at the mall? So again, these are three options given to to the sample set of people who are there participating into the research. Next, like fart jokes and bathroom humor. So according to individuals, do you feel they are hilarious? Yeah, it can be funny, or it's just you to you. Next. And one of the, again question is, what is the first thing you look at in a car? Is it the paint job, interior of the car, or engine and mechanical equipment? So we have taken the 6 questions from the set of 10 questions considering the time bounds we have, and we come up with a very nice result, with this research that was taken care of. So, going through the scores, if you score between the range of 100 to 160, that, concludes that you are an ultra feminine personality. If you score in between, range in between the 170 to 230, it's perfectly, you are perfectly balanced in between the two, feminine and masculine. And last one is, if you score more than 240, you are a total tomboy. But going through the results, there are two, important interpretations that the research you founded. First one is, there were, certain personalities who thought that they are, highly on a masculine side, but they fall under the category 100 to 160, that is ultra feminine. And this case was vice versa. And most other important part that deduced was most of the people from the 100 set of people fall under the perfectly balanced criteria. So what we can conclude from here is, there is nothing called a definitely male society, or there is nothing called a definitely female society. It's just a well-balanced set of both. To understand it more clearly, we would, go through some case study now.
So, Harley Davidson. What is the first thing that comes to our mind when we hear the term Harley Davidson? Maybe a person a little bit fatter and taller than me who is riding on a Harley Davidson along with his group and riding the whole country. So, is this really true? We will find out with the help of a AV. So, even I was not aware of such a campaign by Harley Davidson which focused on females. So, why did they do that? They find out that there was a market for women also in biking sector. So, I will substantiate it with some facts. From 2003 to 2016, the number of women riders has doubled. And more than 49% of women who own motorcycles prefer to maintain their bikes on their own. Then 49% of female motorcyclists are married, and the median age for female motorcyclists is 39 versus 48 for men. So moving further, there was a collection of apparels made specifically for women. Because there was a huge market, and this was done by Harley Davidson. Now I will share with you a story of a female named Rohini Sharma. She rode from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and that too alone and not in a group. The number of days that she traveled were 14, and the distance traveled was 5452 kilometers. So that was a remarkable achievement.
Grooming. Why do we groom ourselves? To look clean, to look better, to look different. And there is also a perception that it peps up the confidence level of a person. What are all these things to do with a person being male or a female? Nothing, right? Then why such a stereotype that beauty is something to do only with females and not with males? We are here to present a few facts which will break such stereotype. There was 66% increase in men seeking beauty treatments, and Indian cosmetics will reach $600 million by 2016, and 25% of the people who go to the salon are men. And L'Oreal made a statement that men's beauty products sell faster than women. We know that initially beauty salons were separate for females and males, but later there are many other unisex salons which came up. These are India's top 10 unisex salons. Okay, now let's take a look at the professions which are more feminine, like hairstylists and fashion designers. Firstly, hairstylists, we know them. Javed Habib, who doesn't know him? Vikas Marwa and Alim Halim. Next. And coming to the fashion designers, Rohit Bal, Sabyasachi Mukherjee and Manish Malhotra are among the top 5 fashion designers in India. And I have a small story of Sabyasachi, which we could connect to mostly. His mother was was into handicrafts, so he was passionate about fashion and hence wanted to do it. But like all Indian parents, even his parents wanted him to be an engineer. But he sold his books and then he paid the fees of NIFT, went into it, and today we see him as the most successful fashion designer. Initially coming to beauty products, there were only products for women specifically. But as I showed the stats, due to the increased interest, there are many other male products which were female before, like face wash, lip balm, and fairness creams. These are some of the products, these are not Indian brands, which can be used both by males and females. So after seeing all these, I would like to conclude that there is nothing definitely male or female. It's a matter of choice and the passion you have and the interest you have in any field. So I would end by saying it is definitely evident that nothing is definitely male except for the biological parts. Thank you, guys. I'm Abhignya, that is Durga, that is Bhanu, Dhritiman, and Harshit.